blossoms are back. So pretty. The goods have been secured. Happy weekend. And I guess welcome to a new video. Have I even spoken in this vlog yet? I don't think I have I? So basically this is not the video that was supposed to go live yet. I was actually supposed to have another video live already, but I'm still waiting on the brand to approve it. So I guess this is the first video you guys are getting from me in like a week, so hey, I'm sorry about that. It was not actually intentional. Today I am just chilling. It's Coronation Day in the UK. Honestly, not feeling it, not the vibe, not impressed, not happy, not my king. So I'm not really paying that much attention to it, really. I've just gone to go and get a coffee and I'm going to spend the day reading. I actually just this morning finished Beautiful World, Where Are You? I finally read it, loved it, gave it 5 stars. And I don't know what I'm going to read next, so I guess I'm going to take you guys along on that journey while I figure it out. But we're also going to talk books I read in April. I figured I'm going to integrate my April wrap up into the vlog, because we're doing things a bit differently these days, you know? We're switching it up, we're switching up formats, we're being creative. We are just doing it differently. Anyway, that is my plan. I'm gonna go inside and I'm gonna eat some lunch and then we'll figure out what I'm reading next, and then I will sit down and talk to you guys about all the books that I read in the month of April. So I think there was 12 or 13 of them, so it was a good reading month. It's actually a very, very good reading month. Spoiler alert, I found my favourite new series of, not all time, but one of my favourite new fantasy series ever. So that's exciting. I can't wait to talk to you guys about that, but I'm gonna go in and eat and then we can talk books. Also, shout out to Rare Beauty, slay. First product I've ever bought of them, and like, I'm obsessed. Is that awkward? Awkward zoom. Kind of an awkward zoom. Okay team, so books that I want to try and read this month. Not even this month, just like immediately, because I've just obviously finished Beautiful World, Where Are You? I honestly can't decide. So like, I have given up making TBRs, like monthly TBRs, which you guys will be able to tell because I haven't posted one in forever. And it's basically just because I can't stick to them. I'm such a mood reader and it just kind of destroys my fun when I feel like I can't read what I want to read because I'm stuck reading like from an arbitrary list that I made for no apparent reason. So I just kind of wing it right now, which is great. But I'm in this position right now where there are so many books on my physical TBR that I want to read that I just feel very overwhelmed and can't decide which one to read next. So I think I'm fairly confident that the next book I'm going to pick up is going to be Steel King by Devney Perry. I have not read anything by my queen for quite some time, so I feel just in a Devney Perry mood this weekend. So I'm thinking Steel King. Plus it is the coronation weekend, so maybe this can be my way of being semi-festive and patriotic because it has the word king in the title. But I need your guys' help, so in the comments below tell me from the list that I'm about to show you guys which one I should read after Steel King, and I promise I will do it. Maybe. If there's like an overwhelming favourite, then that will be the one that I read next. So we have Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell, which I've heard many good things about on YouTube recently. We have A Touch of Ruin by Scarlett St. Clair because I really need to finish the series. We have Sinner by Sierra Simone. I don't know why I haven't picked this one up yet because I am so excited. You know I love me some Sierra Simone. And that has been looking at me for quite some time. We have Heartless Heathens by Santana Knox, which is supposed to be very dark and demonic, and I am so here for those vibes. We also have A Filthy Rich Vampire by Geneva Lee, which is apparently Gossip Girl but with like fangs. So, hi. And then we also have The Words by Ashley Jade. These are like my immediate, I want to get to them soon, but I can't decide like which order to read them in books. So if you guys can help me out with that, that'd be greatly appreciated. Anyway, I'm gonna read for a little bit. I think there's like a short story at the back of my edition of Beautiful World, Where Are You? So I'm gonna read that, and then I might sit and give you guys a April wrap up like I promised. I don't know what else this vlog's gonna be. I just picked my camera up today to start filming because I was like, I need to film something. So it's a bank holiday this weekend as well, so I'm debating maybe doing like a 24-hour readathon at some point, maybe tomorrow. Haven't decided, so maybe I'll get through the rest of this TBR on that readathon. Who knows? But yeah, anyway, I'm rambling, so I'm gonna stop now. I love you, bye. Guys, slightly different angle for me filming a wrap up, but like I just didn't feel in the mood to kind of set you up all formal where I normally film wrap ups and do like a sit down video, because that's just not the vibe I am going for right now. So I'm just gonna like sit on my bedroom floor and talk to you about the 12 books that I read in April, because they were great. I can't really remember ratings for all of them, but I think I gave everything here at least a 4 stars. Oh no, there was 1 3-star and the rest were all 4 or 5 stars. So I mean, that in and of itself is a pretty great reading month. But we're going to start with Hooked by Emily McIntyre. Finally read it. It's been on my TBR for way too long. I really like this. I think I gave this 3.5 stars. It was good, but it just wasn't... I expected more from it, I think, based upon the hype. So yeah, I was kind of a little bit, not disappointed, but just underwhelmed, I think, which is why it was only a 3.5. But I did enjoy it, and I mean, I love this cover so much, so there's that. But yeah, 3.5-ish. It was good. Not obsessed, but I will pick up the rest of the series at some point and read it. Also, I'm sorry if you can hear loads of car noise. I'm having my bedroom window open right now because it's hot, weirdly. Well, not hot, but like humid. So that's just a natural side effect. I'm sorry. Anyway, then I read Love on the Brain. Then I read Love on the Brain by Ellie Hazelwood, which was a 5-star. I think I actually loved this one more than The Love Hypothesis. I don't know what it is, but just these books, they just scratch an itch that I didn't even know I had. Just everything this woman writes, just, I eat it up. I loved it so much. Oh, I love it. And even though some bits were so predictable, there's just something about these books that just is like the ultimate feel good for me. And so yeah, 10/10, loved it. I realised that I'm probably not giving the greatest like reviews on these books this time, but I don't know, I'm just not feeling like going in depth today, so hopefully you guys will just enjoy my kind of surface level reviews of these. But anyway, then I had Guild by Raven Kennedy, which I gave 4 stars. I really enjoyed this, and I do have the next book to read on my TBR probably for this month, honestly, because the ending definitely left me feeling very, very curious about where this series is going to go. There was elements of this though which did make me feel very uncomfortable, and it was kind of pre-warned in the trigger warnings, but I just wasn't expecting it to be quite what it was, and there was definitely some bits that made me feel a bit icky when I was reading them, but still didn't detract from the reading experience, if that makes sense. And I mean, I expected it because of the trigger warning, so it's not like it took me by surprise, but I suppose normally trigger warnings don't actually tend to, or the content doesn't tend to trigger me, whereas in this one it did a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. I actually am not familiar with the King Midas myth, so I don't know how well the retelling aspect of this is done, because like I say, I have absolutely zero idea about anything to do with King Midas, but this is a King Midas retelling and I'm very, very, very curious about where it will go. I have thoughts and feelings and predictions in my mind, but I mean, I'm only one book in and obviously there's like 4 books in the series, so I could be very, very wrong. But I really enjoyed it. Similarly, I also really enjoyed Savage Lands by Stacey Marie Brown. I think I gave this one a 4 stars too. So the concept of this fascinated me. The ending of this book was really, really, really good. Now, the execution wasn't 100% great the whole way through, and that kind of let it down a little bit for me. Like, there was bits which I just thought could have been better written, and like the beginning didn't really get me, but I found myself really enjoying the setting. I've never read a book before set in Budapest, and I really, really appreciated that, and I liked what Stacey Marie Brown did with the kind of dystopian kind of future-ish fae vibe. I'm very, very curious to see where this series goes, and I think if I break my book buying ban for anything this month, it will be for the second book in this, because I'm really intrigued and really wanting to delve back in. So yeah, I think the second one I've kind of seen people saying online is better than this one, so I think this series is one of those where it starts out not badly but like weaker than the rest of the books, and then obviously the only way is up, so I'm excited to carry on. But yeah, highly recommend this. Very different, just really good. It has some very familiar tropes, like kind of like the fight to the death vibes, but yeah, really good. And then talking of fight to the death tropes, my favourite book of the month that I read was The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. This was a 5 stars. This was everything I have ever needed in a fantasy romance. I have not had a fantasy romance series suck me in and just completely change my life in quite this way since I first read like ACOTAR, Throne of Glass and Crescent City. I loved this. I ate it up. It deserves all the hype that it is getting on Booktok and Booktube and more besides. It's fantastic. Now, I've seen this marketed as for people who love ACOTAR, which is why I picked it up. And while I wouldn't necessarily say that is like 100% accurate, because it's not really like ACOTAR, although I can see the comparisons with like the Bat Boys and then the Vampire's Wings in this, I would say that kind of it's like ACOTAR meets Vampire Diaries meets Hunger Games is probably more accurate. I really enjoyed it. I loved everything about it. I love the world building, I love the vampires, I love the characters, I love the writing, I love how we had like just a strong female character. I'm here for it. I loved it. 10/10. Honestly, new favourite author right there. Incredible. Then you guys will be very pleased to see the next 2 books that I'm going to talk about have been finally removed from my TBR pile. So the first book is My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Ottessa Moshfegh. I lost count of the amount of times I featured this in TBRs at this point, so I'm just so glad to have finally read it. I didn't love it. I gave it 3 stars. It was fine, you know. It was a little macabre in places, a little uncomfortable, a little relatable, a little humorous, and I can see why people do really like it. It just wasn't for me, honestly. I felt like it's overhyped, and had I read this years ago, I maybe would have enjoyed it more because I might have expected less. But I think because of just how much hype it's got online, I expected this kind of like life-changing, incredible book, and instead I was just left underwhelmed. That being said, I would quite like to take a year of rest and relaxation personally. Sounds like heaven right now. I also read Acts of Desperation by Megan Nolan, which I think I gave 4 stars to, I think. This was really good, painfully relatable in places. I felt a lot of different emotions while reading this book, and it's not one that I would rush to read again, just because it was a lot in places, but it was also very good as well. Terrible review. This reminds me a lot of like a Sally Rooney actually, and this gave me the existential crisis that I thought Beautiful World Where Are You would give me but didn't, surprisingly. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I just don't think it's something that I could read a second time. But this is about a woman who's just in a very, very toxic relationship, and also in a toxic relationship with her relationship to love. I thought that I was going to really relate to this, and I'm actually very glad that I didn't in the way that I thought I would do, because I'd love to say that I'm not actually as unhinged as this female character is. But I do definitely kind of relate to some of the elements of the toxic relationship, which was sad. But, you know, it is what it is. We all have them. But yeah, it was really good. It was, the writing was beautiful. Like, I've just come across a quote which was, every moment of my day was saturated by his absence. Each second made damp and collapsing and airless beneath it. I enjoyed my pain because it made me less than ever. Like, the writing was gorgeous, but just, yeah, difficult to read in places, but I really liked it. Then I read Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare, finally, and this one I think I gave 4 stars to, maybe 3.5, can't really remember, and I only read it like a week or so ago. This was okay. It wasn't my favourite. It wasn't my favourite ending to a Cassandra Clare series, a trilogy in this case, but it was good. I didn't hate it in the way that a lot of people have online. Like, there's been a lot of unfair criticisms of this book, and I think, yeah, I did. Oh no, wait, in the vlog that you haven't seen yet, which was supposed to go live before this video but hasn't, you will see me talking in more depth about this book. So I'll actually probably not talk about it too much now, so you can see my like in the moment thoughts in that. But no, I enjoyed it. I didn't hate it. I liked the kind of the way that all the stories and relationships are wrapped up in the end of this book. I think it's got a lot of unfair press because of the love triangle situation, but also this is a Cassandra Clare book, and she likes to make us hurt, you know? She likes to make us really physically in pain from what happens to the characters. So I wasn't expecting anything less, but I did enjoy this. I'm glad this series is done. I'm glad I've read it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to her next Shadowhunter series, because I feel like we're going to hear a little bit more about what's going on with Clary and Jace, which honestly at this point is the only thing I care about, and the only reason why I would pick up the next series, because I actually don't care that much about the Shadowhunter world anymore, because I think I've just grown out of it. But I really do want to know what the hell's going on with Clary and Jace, because I remember that in the Dark Artifices trilogy, lots of mentions of them not being great. So I'm like, no, they need to be okay. Anyway, I also read Several People Are Typing by Calvin Kalsulki, which was very good. This was, I think I gave it like 3 or 4 stars. This is basically all written in chat log format, so it was a very quick read. I read this in 24 hours, and basically it's about this dude called Gerald who puts together a spreadsheet comparing winter coats and uploads it to his company's Slack channel to get his colleagues' opinions, only he doesn't upload the spreadsheet. He accidentally uploads his own consciousness to Slack and then gets stuck within Slack and needs to enlist the help of Slackbot to get free. Very dystopian, very contemporary dystopia, and honestly fantastic. Really enjoyed it. Very original, very different. Haven't ever read anything quite like it, and I now have a new fear of being stuck inside. Well, we don't use Slack at my work, we use Teams. So I'm currently kind of scared about accidentally uploading my consciousness to Teams, because that would be genuinely terrifying. Then I read a little novella. I read 6 Scorched Roses by Carissa Broadbent. This is the follow-up, kind of the follow-up to The Serpent and the Wings of Night. It's like an in-betweeny book before the second book in Crowns of Nyaxia came out. And this is about Lilith and Vale, so they're from like a different continent, but their characters play a much more kind of fleshed out role in the second full-length book in the series, which I read at the start of this month, so you guys won't get a kind of overview of it until the end of this month. But yeah, this was really good. I really enjoyed it for a novella as well. Like, I'm not normally a big novella fan, but I gave this one 5 stars because I really loved it. I just think there's something about this woman's writing that just sucks me right in and just, it has me, and I really loved it. So yeah, 5 stars, ate that up. I did start reading The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King last month, but I finished it this month, and while I really want to talk about it in this video, I'm not going to. I'm going to make myself wait until the end of May to do a little wrap up about that. So you guys are just going to have to be patient. I'm really sorry. Anyway, in addition, I also read Time as a Mother by Ocean Vuong. This is the only poetry collection I read in April, and I really loved it, unsurprisingly. I found a few collections recently that I picked up a little bit like hit and miss, I suppose, or just not kind of really emotionally moving, and this was beautiful. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was my first Ocean Vuong read, and I will definitely be picking up his other poetry collection. And it's also made me want to read On Earth We're Brutally Gorgeous as well, which I haven't felt drawn to before, but now that I've kind of dipped a toe in his writing, I want to freaking dive in and immerse myself. So that is my plan. And then finally, I read a book that I've been putting off because I've been seeing mixed reviews about it online, and I kind of thought like, oh god, what have I bought? Am I going to hate it? And I can confirm with great joy that I did not in fact hate it. I loved it. And that is Things I Wanted to Say by Monica Murphy, which is basically like a bully romance, very spicy, and I ate this up. I absolutely loved it. I really didn't expect to. I thought I was going to hate it. Loved it. I think I gave it 5 stars. And then I feel vaguely ridiculous for giving it 5 stars, because really it's not a 5-star book. It's probably realistically more like a 3-star book, but I loved it. Like I loved it so much. So anyway, yeah, that is my wrap up. I hope you guys have enjoyed that little brief. I thought I'd keep it shorter because we're doing it within a vlog, so let me know if you like this format, or if you would rather I go back to kind of like a sit down, like proper like wrap up. Like, I'm not saying that I won't do those, I'm just trying to like mix it up and just keep things a bit interesting. Like some months maybe I'll do it vlog style like this, some months maybe I'll do it like sit down and like light. Not that I've used lights in forever, but hear me out, maybe in the future I do sit down light, more of a production, you know. But right now I'm not in the mood for that. I just want to drink my coffee, read my book. Okay, so it's considerably later. I've just basically spent the last few hours after my bath just like chilling out, reading, watching YouTube, like basically flipping between videos and my book. I'm reading still Steel King by Devney Perry. It was a solid choice to pick up. I'm really enjoying it. I haven't read like a motorcycle club romance before, so this is kind of, I guess, a little bit fulfilling that. It's giving Indigo Ridge vibes as well, with the kind of like murder mystery situation. So I'm enjoying it. I like Devney Perry's writing, you guys know this, so it was always going to be a winner for me, and I've just been kind of craving like a small town romance, kind of easy, cozy, quick read. So that was a solid choice this morning. I'm very glad that I did that. But yeah, I'm just feeling a little bit like under the weather this evening, I think. I've been having some like health issues recently the last couple of months, and just tonight it's kind of catching up with me. So I'm just relaxing, taking it easy, and just trying to like look after myself a little bit. I stretched my back out. I get rid of my back pain with whatever the heck's going on. So I just stretched my back out for a little bit. I've got my candles lit. And I think I'm probably going to end the vlog here. I don't really know what the content was like, but I hope you guys have enjoyed me doing this wrap up a little bit differently this month. And yeah, I guess it's like, it's just fun to do content differently. I don't want to fall into a rut with it, and I was feeling, among other things, I was feeling a little bit demotivated, but I obviously have had issues with my Wi-Fi for forever that have now finally been fixed. Yes. So I don't have to like leave videos uploading for 48 to 72 hours each time. Like, that's honestly been such a barrier to me being able to upload consistently on here, because every time I wanted to upload on my Wi-Fi it would take upwards of 24 to 48 hours to do just a single 15-20 minute video, which is ridiculous. And I couldn't always get into town to go and use the Wi-Fi in the library, and like the only other option around here is Starbucks, and their Wi-Fi is just not great here. It's very unreliable. So, and also I don't really like sitting in Starbucks like a whole day, because I like going in and having like a coffee, and then I feel like if I'm still hanging around I'm a nuisance. So yeah, I'm just very glad to have my Wi-Fi working again, so it means that I can be more consistent. And I think just kind of filming vloggy style videos, whether it's a reading vlog, a wrap up, a TBR, a review of a particular book, whatever, I think it's just kind of takes the pressure of like making each video a production, if that makes sense. Because sometimes like I just want to vlog what I've got going on in that moment. Like if I'm doing something fun, even if it's a bit lifestyle-y, like I don't know, I just want to share a bit more with you guys, but finding out a way to do that properly has been tricky. Especially because I don't really do very much. Like, all I do is read and work at the moment, but like, hopefully that should be changing soon. But yeah, anyway, all this to say, I'm going to end the vlog here. But I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. Please like and subscribe. It means the world to me to see more and more of you subscribing to my videos and watching them and liking them. It warms my cold, dead heart. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day or night, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!